I'm graduating with my first college degree when I was 17 years of age, June 2010, with highest honors. So I'm not putting my college degrees in my awards and honors list, so this is more of like a combination of it. I think I have, for my current college degrees, they each came with distinction, which is an award or honor, but I was thinking for like stuff I did in school and stuff like that, instead of putting it all in my awards and honors playlist, I'd be like a school stuff playlist, but I don't really, that's not a now project, it's how I'd phrase that. I'm filming this Friday, 12 January 2024, and I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, and it's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. So I would say for this one, it's the award and honor part is kind of the graduating with highest honors, and was a distinction, including it was on the actual transcript, and maybe the age, but so it was, and I earned an Associate's of Arts and Sciences degree, focus in mathematics, secondary focus in Multicultural Studies, from Shoreline Community College. I took part in a Washington State education program called Running Start, which allowed those of us who were in high school to enroll part or full-time at a local community college and take classes on campus and stuff like that. So for my last 2 years of high school, I took 100% of my course load on campus at a local community college. And then I earned enough credits and stuff to graduate with my college degree. What was unique about it from my perspective was I actually the commencement, so like the actual graduation ceremony for my college degree was 1 week before I graduated from high school. So it was one weekend. I think it was a Sunday. They were like both Sundays, and I was like, why is it a Sunday? It was June 2010. So I graduated one weekend from Shoreline Community College, and then the next weekend I graduated from Shorewood High School. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, I did not anticipate the culmination of my K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade education, culminating in me graduating from college before I finished that. Ooh, right? So there was a little bit of a, and it didn't, like, you know, it just came down to it, and I was like, well, that's different. From my own life story, right? I liked the name of the program. I started running of my own initiative, myself as coach, in January 2006, which was a little over 2 years before I took, I started in autumn of 2008 at Shoreline Community College. So it was a little bit before that. The award or the highest honors thing was a big accomplishment because I started working as a cleaner at a pool, so not very glamorous, when I was 14 years of age. And then I started at Shoreline Community College at 16 years of age, and I had multiple jobs, part-time through the school year and full-time during the summer once I could work full-time, kind of thing. There were multiple places I worked, and as a lifeguard, a swim instructor, that kind of thing. So I was still allowed to take part in high school sports. So I did track and field when I was in high school. As part of the high school, I did I was part of the swim and dive team. I did swimming, junior varsity and varsity. I did water polo, junior varsity and varsity. I did multiple sports. I was co-president of a club at Shoreline Community College. So I was not that really lopsided student who only liked science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and only focused in on that stuff. I met a few of those people. I wasn't the only person to do Running Start, right? And some of those people did diversify with kind of like hobbies that kind of branched them out a little bit, less from that funnel-brained kind of approach of all tech kind of thing. And so, yeah, I would say it was an award and honor, but there's also been kind of like how do I contextualize this in my life? And what do I mean by that is, one of the families on the street I grew up, the eldest daughter, they're a family the parents had 2 daughters, kind of like my parents had 2 daughters, and the eldest of their daughter was in my grade, and we swam together and that kind of stuff, and worked together. I think she played summer water polo, so they were water polo together at the community pool, if I'm recalling correctly. But she didn't do high school or like water polo kind of thing. And her younger sister at the University of Washington, they had this program. It was an accelerated program, and her younger sister took part in it. And it was essentially they took a 4-year curriculum, college curriculum, and boiled it down. And these people did that instead of like middle school and high school or something. So they would graduate, and it was like a 2-year program or something like that. So they graduated with their first 4-year college degree at age 13 or 14. Right, and I was at age 17 when I got my first college degree. So these are those would be the same people that went on to get their PhD in, 3, 4, or 5 years. So they're graduating with their first PhD when they're 16, 17, 18 years old. If they're a really late bloomer, they'd graduate with their first PhD at age 19. Okay, so there's a little bit of context. It's like, clearly getting a first college degree at age 17, well, nice. And I did it of my own initiative, right? And I enrolled in the program of my own initiative. I'm no like prodigy for getting a college degree my first college degree at age 17. So then and that was, what was it? It was a group of, the class sizes there was, each graduating class was about 30 or 40 students at the University of Washington. So, it's not rare, but it's also like maybe the rarest of the 3 groups. Then there's Running Start, which anybody can participate in. There was maybe 10 or 20 people in my graduating Shoreline Community College class who did the same full thing, but that might be underestimating. It might have been more. But so at the college level, it was, maybe about the same, but that's per community college as opposed to 4-year institution. So I guess there's more of us, but maybe only double the number as of the really young people. All right, because we actually had to do our college coursework versus for the really young people, it was kind of waived. So it's kind of a lot of strings were pulled for those people versus us. We're we can abide by the current system and we'll take on double the, stuff and all that kind of thing. In addition to having to do everything else in our life as well. So we were the boring kids of the 3 groups I kind of discussed. And so I graduated at age 17. It depends on kind of some kids are young in high school, some kids are older. So they might have, depending on how old they were when they started high school, might be 16, 17, 18, or 19 when they're graduating with their first college degree, the 2-year degree. And then some of those people actually did go on at university. Since there's 2 years of college work done, some people would actually graduate, with their second college degree at their 4-year degree at 18 or 19, right? If they just did the next 2 years really straight through. Some people went on to do that. I did not. I wanted to do it right and find the major for me, the right major for me kind of thing. Not that they didn't do it right, just that was their approach. And I was I don't know if this is right for me. I had to just push through some people did it just for that number. They just wanted to, have 2 college degrees at the age of 19, kind of thing. And then there's the third group, which were the people who were already going to graduate high school at age 16 or 17. And they took a bunch of advanced placement courses and had those count as college credits. So they wouldn't actually have to take the college coursework. Unlike what I did, which I actually had to take the college coursework. You can think of as advanced placement as they did so good in high school that they don't have to do that class in college. Right? So it's kind of waiving it for them in that sense. And some people had strings pulled so they could graduate a year early, that kind of stuff. And then those ones would tend to graduate 18, 19, or 20 with their 4-year degree. But that would be their first college degree, right? So they're kind of the last place in the batch of people who get their first degree as a teenager, right? Because 12 and under is preteen, 13 is first teenage year, and 19 is last teenage year. So right, there's the kind of the 3 groups for the first that I was familiar with in my upbringing and I have encountered with in life. And then 19 years old, 18 or 19 years old for 4-year degree with advanced placement and graduating a year early was really common. That was 30 to 60 people per high school. Okay, which is like, there's like the young prodigies, those of us who are like, we're workhorses and we can do the full college course load and we're not going to get the wave it group, the stubborn, we're going to actually do the courses group instead of skipping it. And then we want our attendance, man, good attendance. We actually took the class. And then the kind of the AP kids, right? And so both extremities on the teenage spectrum, like the youngest and the oldest tended to have like stuff waived, so to speak. Whereas with running start, we didn't get to do that. We did the actual course load. We were present, right? Attendance is about being present. We were present for the course instead of having it waived or skipped. So there's that, right? I think being in the like 17 years of age was like, and the type A personalities, right, that come with the two extremities, and how like just really arrogant some of those people can be. I'm just kind of like, I'm happy with what I have, kind of thing. So I'm happy to be what I am, and I'm happy I'm not one of those other things, kind of thing. I would say if we wanted to contextualize like a little bit in terms of my other performance, what was I doing at age 19? So I was living in South Africa on a 6-month student visa. I applied for myself January to June 2012. I was taking coursework at Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University in Port Elizabeth, South Africa, Quebec. And I was running the 1 mile run faster than 5 minutes, which where I started into the state and my own coach in running. I am a female, she, her, hers. I am a woman. All right, so for me to achieve that as a 19-year-old running the 1 mile run faster than 5 minutes of my own initiative, and my 5,000 meters time was 18 minutes and 18 seconds. So there was a little bit of it was like, okay, I'm better at the 1 mile run than I am the 5,000 meters. They were road times, right? But still, like, it was, some people are really, the proper name is funnel brained, right? They can only do science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and that's reflected in their, their diversity might be going to Comic-Con or playing a video game or a nerdy card game. And I'm like out there pushing myself to run the 1 mile run faster than 5 minutes with my own my own training, my own coach. I had some training partners, but not in that race, right? So it was kind of a bit different, right? Some people just can't really ever branch out, and I've had kind of the opposite story of I've had to work, right, and pay for stuff as I go. I've had to do well in school for scholarships and stuff like that, and so I have not lived a life of luxury or privilege in that sense of being able to be that funnel brained, and it's also just not who I am. So I'm happy with what I did. I also am not a prodigy, and I'm also not the type A AP graduate a year early and just because they want that number, right? Some people do it just because they want that number, and that was not my motivation. My motivation was to have college coursework done, and then it still took me 5 more years to graduate with my undergraduate degree. So I'm an oddball. I'm a misfit for sure, especially in terms of my undergraduate education, but I'm happy with being me, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. This is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. Thank you for viewing, whenever you're viewing this and wherever you're viewing this from.